This is the first video in a series of videos about mystery angles. The first type of angle we're going to talk about looks like this. You can see this angle doesn't have the number of degrees labeled on it, but it does have this little square in the corner. That's a clue for us. That tells us that this angle is exactly 90 degrees. We don't need to get out our protractor to measure it. That square is a promise that this is exactly 90 degrees. And we can use that as a clue to solve for mystery angles. The first problem we're going to look at together is missing part of this angle. It's missing the angle for x. We can use this clue, the square in the corner, to let us know that this angle is exactly 90 degrees. So if we spun from this line to this line, it would be a 90-degree turn. Okay? And we know that this section of that angle is 35 degrees. So we can take the total, subtract the part that we know, and I can use my calculator to subtract. But it's very important that I write down my work so I remember how I got that answer. So I see that it's 55. So that tells me that x is 55 degrees. Okay, let's try that again with another problem. In this problem, we're missing y. We can see again that we have a square angle to work with. We're missing part of that square angle. So the square angle is 90, so start with the total. We'll take away the part that we know, and we're left with the part that we don't know. So again, I can use my calculator. As long as I've written down my steps, I see that that's going to be 39 degrees. So y is worth 39 degrees. Okay, so I want you to try this on your own for a couple of questions. So you don't have to copy down the question. You can just freeze it on your screen. Use this information to help you solve your problem. Make sure you're writing down your steps, just like I did, so you can show how you got your answer. Once you found the answer, you can hit play again to watch my solution. Okay, hopefully you found your answer. Now I'm going to go over this finding my solution. So again, we're starting with a total of 90. We see this square in the corner tells us it all adds up to 90. So starting with that total, we're going to take away the part that we know, which is this little 25-degree angle. And then we can subtract to find out what's left. 65 degrees. So that tells me that this P portion of the angle is 65 degrees. Let's have you try another one of these. So again, you don't have to copy down the problem, but you can freeze it on your screen. Make sure you show your steps in your work booklet. When you've finished and found your answer, you can hit play again and check your answer with mine. Okay, I'm assuming that you've found your answer, and I'm going to just work through mine with you. We're starting with a total of 90 degrees. We're subtracting the part that we know. I don't need my calculator for this one. And I can see that I'm left with 40 degrees. So the Q portion of the angle is worth 40 degrees. Okay, let's try another one. Again, you don't have to copy down the problem. You can just freeze it on your screen. This one's a little bit trickier, but I know you can solve it. When you found your answer, you can hit play again and check your answer with mine. Okay, hopefully you found your answer. We're starting again with a total of 90. We can see this square tells us that it all adds up to 90. Now I want to take away the part that I know. I know 45 degrees here, but I also know there's 24 degrees here. So I'm going to add these together to find out the total of what I know. 45 plus 24. I could use my calculator if I need to. This one's not a tricky one for me. That's the total of what I know. So I'll subtract that from 90. Maybe I'll use my calculator for that part. 21. So that tells me that this mystery angle in the middle is worth 21 degrees. Okay, final question. This one's a little bit trickier, but I think you can handle it. Here's a hint. Both of these angles, you have two missing angles, but both of them have the same letter variable. See if you can figure out what to do with that. When you've found your answer, you can hit play again and check your answer with mine.